Hey, welcome back to the Tre Stewart program. Here with my co-host Joe Grillo and our two great guests, Or Mash and Bridget Phetasy. Thanks so much for coming out. Two women, beautiful, funny, intelligent. I think now's the time for women to really take the country back, right? You know, and some people do that by voting, which you're getting a lot of backlash, Bridget, right?
I actually feel like my voting record is a case for repealing the 19th.
You mean like, oh yeah, like we shouldn't let women vote?
It's like Hillary in 2016, then nobody in 2020, and Trump in 2024. It's like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
What are you doing voting?
Well, I think that's the thing is like you should be able to. It's funny because you posted something and you said that you voted for Trump and you explained why, and people were actually mad, which is like, this is a free country, right? Like you can vote for whoever you want.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm still on the fence. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know who really. I know or.
It is my first year that I can vote. Ooh. Actually, I just became an American.
Whoa.
Welcome.
All right. Yeah.
Where are you from?
Welcome.
I'm from Jerusalem.
Oh.
And I moved
topical.
Here. Topical.
Topical. All right. It's kind of hacky now, really.
Yeah. I feel like if one more person tells me anything about Israel or Palestine, I'm just gonna throw up.
It must be really frustrating because nobody knows shit about it.
Yeah, it's just you're born there. You're that's the you're dealt with. You try your best to as a comedian, just be funny and tell jokes and that's it. But people think that like I have some sort of button. Look at me. Does it look like I am in charge of any important button?
No.
I'm literally wearing snowboarding pants in Austin, nowhere near a mountain.
Yeah, well, your style is great. Yeah, it's definitely So who would you vote for? Because if this is your first election, are you leaning more towards like because Trump is a big
Back when I was an immigrant, I was liberal. And the moment they gave me that passport, I was like, get those fuckers out of here.
Yeah.
It's very common.
That makes
I'm
sense.
Republican. No, I don't know.
Well, if you do it right, if you like come to this country and you do everything you're supposed to do the proper way, don't you feel a kind of way of other people kind of just jumping over illegally? Like that is something that I've heard other immigrants speak on. Like, well, I did it. I paid all this money. Was it hard?
Yeah, it's a long process. You have to prove to them that you have some sort of a talent, which is like the worst audition.
A talent? They made you do stand-up?
At the immigration?
Can you imagine? Because if you they call it an alien with an extraordinary ability, then you have to have some sort of extra. That it means that nobody in the United States can do exactly who you are, and can do exactly what you do. And it's like the worst audition you could ever had, because if you don't get the audition, you get deported back to the Middle East.
If you bomb that, they're like, get out of here.
If you bomb there, you definitely get bombed there.
What was your
horrible?
What was your talent?
Well, I'm funny, and
but how did you prove that though? How did they have you like?
You just have to. Well, being on TV is
right. You're already on TV.
They want to see. It's kind of like, what's your credit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which,
like, if you were that good, there will be an article about you, or you'll be on TV, or you do something.
Yeah, and Wild 'N Out is pretty good. That's a good credit.
Yeah, it's MTV, it's Paramount.
Did Nick Cannon vouch for you?
I didn't ask him to vouch for me, but he vouched for me in like real life in a way. So
what do you mean?
Like in like when they put you on the show, that means like, I think that this girl is talented enough to be on one of the biggest shows in America.
Right. That's good. Yeah. So
and I'm already working on my English, and it's because it's new school and old school in Wild 'N Out, and I think I'm still new school because they're giving me a little bit more time, to just learn English.
Yeah, that's good. Well, but the fact that you're able to be funny in another language, because this isn't your first.
No, it's
right?
Hebrew is my first language.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That takes a whole. Yeah, it's hard to be funny enough in English. Like, I can't really imagine having to think
That was something that I had to learn in 2016, not English, but just I didn't understand why my roommate's mom was so MAGA. And she came from Iran, and I was like, I don't get it. I don't understand. This feels strange to me. You're an immigrant. And I got on the phone with her, and she was like, we did this the right way. We like jumped through all the hoops and filled out all the paperwork and paid all the money, and now there are all these people that are just coming in illegally, and it's not fair. And because it felt a little bit like pulling up the ladder behind you, but she's not. She's like, we came in and did. So that was
what ladder?
Yeah.
What? Oh, is it
the ladder over the wall?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
No.
The ladder.
I mean, it's actually a metaphor, but it could be taken literally
this
way.
I thought it was actually like they climbed the wall, they had a ladder, and then they have to give the ladder. See, I can get in so much trouble for not understanding proper.
That was confusing.
Metaphors.
That was actually.
But I can see how metaphors would be hard.
Yeah.
To take because it could be a literal ladder.
I mean, it's a little. Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
No, it could have been taken. That was a bad metaphor for.
No, it's perfect.
This particular example.
Well, it's interesting because there's a lot of we hear Democrats. We hear Republicans. Like Elon posted something about illegal immigrants voting. Actually, I want to show this link. Can we go to the illegal voting? We can pull that up there. Yeah. So apparently this happened in Michigan, which is like somebody that isn't. Yeah. Can you go back up to the article? Yeah, right there. Yeah, like so a ballot cast by a University of Michigan student who's not a citizen is facing criminal charges, and it's a 19-year-old Chinese student, uses student ID in Ann Arbor to vote.
I feel like America's getting punked.
Well,
China?
it's kind of wild, right? Yeah, like Ashton Kutcher's got to come out
at the end of 4 years.
Yeah.
Like we're also waiting for Ashton Kutcher to come out, but he's in trouble with Diddy. So.
Really?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He was best friend. Diddy, man, we lost a lot of good people.
We lost
every day I wake up, there's like 17 more charges about this man.
Yeah.
Someone was like, please have a Hollywood endorsement from someone who isn't connected to Diddy or Epstein.
It's tough. It's tough. It's hard. Yeah, to find somebody like all the Democrats.
Who?
Airbud.
Airbud?
Maybe. Yeah, who was Airbud voting for?
I don't know.
We got to figure it out. But I think that's a big. Do you think that illegal votes will play a big part in the election? Because some people say that's the whole reason why Trump lost the last time.
Was it illegal votes, or was it because Rogan had Fetterman on and he kind of held his feet to the fire on this? I don't know if you saw that clip going around about immigration and just how they're bringing people in, giving them money, trying to get them amnesty so that they can then vote. And obviously they're going to vote for the people who are giving them money and resources and hotel rooms or whatever. And
exactly.
They're specifically moving them into swing states. And Rogan's whole point was like, this is just a valid concern that Americans have. And how do you logically, how do you explain this to them? And he can't.
Well, yeah, that was a very eye-opening interview because even if you go into that interview, like, on Fetterman's side, it's like, oh man, come on, he didn't really give a good explanation.
It kind of fell apart.
Yeah, it did, but it makes sense, right? Like you need an ID to buy alcohol, to get a prostitute.
Yeah. You need an ID to get a prostitute.
To watch porn, yeah, and then but now, actually, porn is illegal here, so I'm not sure what the law
is. It illegal?
You have to verify your age.
You have to verify your age. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's good. So, but you can just walk in. One of my friends in Cali, she walked in to the voting booth just to see if she could vote without an ID.
You don't need one.
Yeah, you don't need one.
It was always so weird to me when I would go to vote in California. I'd be like, here's my ID. They're like, we don't need that. I'm like, seems important. Like, yeah. I feel like we should know that this is the person who's actually voting.
Yeah, well, because if you're an illegal immigrant, you're right. You're probably going to vote for the people just giving you money and free. But you know what's funny? You think there's somebody that voted for Trump illegally? Like they're an immigrant and they can't vote, but they were like, I'm probably going to get kicked out.
Those migrants have zero loyalty.
They do. Well, yeah, just that's how good Trump is.
Gives zero fucks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you registered?
What does this mean?
To like vote.
To like vote.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can vote. So this is the first year I can vote. My ballot is in LA, so I don't know if I can. And then people keep telling me that it's not. It doesn't matter because
it's California.
Because it's California,
yeah.
and I was like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't matter at all. You can do whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's the first year I can vote. I was really excited about it, and now I'm not gonna vote.
Well, apparently.
Why aren't you gonna vote?
Because my ballot is in LA, so I have to fly to LA by tomorrow, right? To vote.
Oh, probably.
Because they would need my ballot.
I don't know,
look
man.
at me.
It's
They're
California.
gonna have. I can be there coming without an ID and be an immigrant, but for me, they're gonna have a million questions. Like, for sure. Like, who are you? What are you doing?
No, they're gonna assume you're voting for Kamala.
Yeah, they're gonna let you in.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna get on in here.
I look
yeah.
like a Kamala voter.
You do, yeah.
It's the dyed hair.
It's giving it away, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
for sure. And you could actually just text one of your friends to pretend to be you.
Yeah.
And fill out
And-
your
and
ballot.
yeah.
Do you know any 19-year-old
I mean, we're
Chinese
actually
students?
telling
Dude,
her
I
to
just
commit voter
got my
fraud.
passport. I'm not getting in trouble and going to jail.
I love how we're like advising the newly
Yeah. You gotta
naturalized
vote.
American to commit
Not getting
voter fraud.
deported. No.
Here's the first thing when you become a naturalized American: you commit
You
voter
fake-
fraud.
Break the law.
Yeah, break the law.
Dude, I was so scared before I got like a passport. I was just like so scared to get in any kind of trouble because I was like, you get in trouble, they're sending you back to Israel.
Mm.
And I'm like, no.
Mm.
Yeah, that's it. I think you're fine, right? It's the other immigrants. Like when Trump was talking about shithole countries, I don't think he was talking about Israel.
No, I'm not saying Israel is shithole country. I worked very hard to come to America to pursue my dreams. So the last thing I want is just going back. It's kind of like when you move from home. Like everybody, also in Austin, in LA, you kind of moved from home.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of being told to go back home, like go to your room type of thing.
It's like when you fail as a
But-
comedian, and
Yeah,
you're
you
like,
failed or
"Well, I gotta go
something.
back to Michigan now.
You gotta go back to
Exactly,
Michigan.
yeah.
I go
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to the Middle East.
Oh
Yes.
man, move back in with your parents. What do your parents do?
My father is a coder and my mother is an artist.
Oh wow, nice.
So I always have that. Like I always was attracted to like new technology, all these like new stuff. I was like a nerd, new gadget, all these things, and also the arts, and just my mother is the funniest woman I've ever met in my entire life.
Oh, she is.
She's the funniest person. And I'm sure a lot of comedians say that, right, about their mother.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Yeah,
your mother.
okay.
She's not. She doesn't have jokes.
My mother was a bitch.
No. No, she's not really like the humorous one, I don't think.
Yeah.
What about your dad?
My dad's side of the family is Irish, and so they're always making everything's a joke.
They're hilarious.
Yeah, nothing is serious. It's like the
Mhm.
opposite problem.
Yeah.
My mom comes from like I think more just like her ancestry is like French and Italian, so she's a little bit more
Sexy.
sexy. Spicy.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
a
is
little bit more
spicy.
like dramatic.
Yes.
Like French and Italian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very,
I gotcha.
very dramatic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And my dad's the opposite. It's like
yeah.
nothing, very kind of stoic, and also takes nothing seriously.
Yeah. Is he deadpan? A lot of Irish people are kind of deadpan.
He's kind of deadpan. My family's mostly like roasters. So when people
Okay.
are like, "Oh, why don't you do a roast battle?" I'm like, I don't need to relive my upging.
Sure.
My whole childhood
yeah,
trauma.
exactly.
Yeah.
My dad is just roasting me. I didn't even do anything. I'm 4 years old. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely like that kind of family where it's like, "Oh, you're gonna cry about a bridge? Oh, you got
damn.
feelings?"
Really? How? And this is for both of you. How early did you guys figure out you were funny? At what age were you like, I'm funny?
The funny thing is, my dad just told me that my ancestors, they would do Shabbat dinners in Sudan, and they would raise the glass. A person would raise the glass in the Shabbat dinner and started roasting the whole table
Oh,
in the
wow.
Shabbat dinner.
Wow.
And yeah.
That's cool.
So that's all.
It's
Oh
in your
damn! So I
blood.
have it in my blood, kind of roasted. I never knew it. Like when I got the call for Wild and Out, I'm a comedian. I was like, sure, let's do it. But they don't really have roasting in Jerusalem. I feel it's more like an American thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's such an American thing to roast and to appreciate it as the art form.
Right.
Like, even when I got on Wild 'N Out for the first 3 seasons, I just thought, I was like, why black people really don't like me? It took me 3 seasons to understand it. Like, no, when they talk shit to you, they fuck with you. Like,
Yeah.
Right,
they actually do like you.
Mm-hmm.
3 seasons, I was like, damn.
You were like, why does everybody hate me?
I
Black people,
didn't
growing up, that's definitely how black people show love. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, look at this guy.
I feel like when Jewish people like you, they'll just kind of like stand next to you
and give you money.
No. Hilarious. But they stand next to you and just start like complaining. They'll just stand next to you and be like, "Can you look at this shit?
Oh,
Can you
yeah,
look
yeah.
at this shit?" And they'll tell you how they can make it better
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That means they trust you and they like
Complaining.
you.
You're right.
They would
yeah.
complain next to you. And
I
yeah.
have bonded with a lot of Jewish women over both of us complaining. Like, I feel like I identify.
Complaining is just jokes, though, too.
Yeah.
I mean, jokes are kind of a form of complaining.
Right.
And with,
yeah,
and with
absolutely.
Jewish people, I feel with the Jewish people history, it's like, yeah, you could wake up and have a nice day, and then it was like, oh, it's a nice day, but you know your history. So I was like, we'll see. You know,
Things can always take a turn.
things can always take a turn. You know,
That's true.
We'll see.
Yeah. So what about you? How old were you when you first?
I don't think I was old. I don't think I thought I always loved comedy. I always appreciated it. Our family was always joking. I was always drinking and making jokes at a bar, but I don't think I thought like comedy was something I could do. And so I started it really late. I got dared to do it when I was probably like 30 years old, maybe older
dare.
than that, 32.
Yeah.
Someone dared me to get up on stage and do it, and I was like, all right, I will. And then when I did, it was like a part of my brain that never shuts the fuck up was actually quiet. And it was the part of my brain that is always narrating and making fun of everything, and just because I was a writer, but I didn't know that. I just didn't know. And I was trying to I could write jokes and I could write scripts, but it wasn't, I always wanted to be on like Saturday Night Live. So I did improv, but it was not like stand-up was something that I thought just like lunatics and geniuses could do. I didn't think it was in the realm of anything that I could ever do. And then, so I came to it pretty late, and I still don't actually, I've come to trust more that I am funny, but I still feel like, I don't know. I have like such high standards that I don't even meet my own standards for being funny.
Which is good. That's good, because a lot of comedians who are really funny, when you ask them, they could crush, and then you'll be like, oh, how did it go? And they'll be like, oh, man, I think it was all right. I was like, bro, you just crushed. But that's the sign of a good comedian, is we're always looking to be better. The people who suck, people who suck are the ones that get up and they get crickets, and then they get off stage and like, man, I just fucking crushed that crowd.
I've seen this, and
Really?
it is unbelievable to me. I've seen this happen, and I didn't think it was real when I first heard about it, but it was like someone will get off and be like, I think it went pretty well. I'm like, I would want to kill myself if I just had that set.
Exactly.
I would be thinking of ways to end my life if that was my set.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know, but I'm kind of envious of like that delusional self-confidence, because I think you need it to a certain extent to keep going. And
I don't have any delusional self-confidence at all. Like, even when I wake up in the morning, I was like, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Suck. I'm like, what?
I have a very Jewish approach to stand-up. I'm like, we'll see. You know what I mean?
We'll
Yeah.
see.
It's
I don't
all
know.
Yeah, it's
But-
going good now, but
It only recently I discovered this about myself, that like I wake up, I'm not a morning person. Like I'm like kind of like 51st dates. Like I would wake up in the morning, I was like, what the fuck am I doing with this guy? Like, I don't have amnesia. I just like hate everything when I wake up until like noon. I can't even like anything. And so I realized that I have to wake up, not talk to anyone.
yeah.
The moment I wake up, I don't talk to anybody. These rules apply for 2 periods in time. In the mornings, and if I have a period. If I'm on my period, I should not talk to anyone.
Yeah,
because
good.
then you have like a period hangover. Do you ever like a hangover? You just regret shit you said.
Yes. Because like the demon comes out, and then you're like, oh,
I shouldn't have started that. Beef.
You know, they used to make women separate themselves, right?
Go to the cave.
That was smart.
We should bring that
we
back.
should reinstate the red tent.
I would say like maybe a spa instead of a cave.
Yeah.
Because that's a little,
not a cave.
Too old fashioned. I would say
like a spa.
A period spa.
Yeah.
You go to a nice spa. Nobody harasses you. Nobody talks to you. Whatever you say is forgiven.
I like this idea, actually.
He's forgiven.
I feel like we could get investors for this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's dope. Well, we'll see if Kamala wins. Maybe
I
she'll
might
do
pitch
that.
it.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Kamala, you see this hair?
Yeah. Well, you do. That's the thing is people, and because you openly came out and said, yeah, I voted for Trump, and a lot of people would say that, oh, how can you be a woman and also support Donald Trump? Has anybody?
Yeah, a lot of people say this to me.
What's your response to that? Like, how can you?
At least they know what a woman is. Like this argument that suddenly the left is these, they're like, I'm like, I'm sorry, you guys just gutted Title IX, and you are allowing. I've spent how long have I had my podcast now? Walk-ins Welcome, 2018. So 6 years I've been interviewing people who are fighting against letting men in women's prisons, detransitioners who have been given drugs and hormones with very little, like who have ruined their lives and are trying to warn other people about this stuff and don't get any platforms because no one wants to hear from them. Just stuff. That's why in the video I was like, I don't know what took me this long, actually. When I was pregnant, I think becoming a mom radicalized me to a certain extent. Because
really?
Even in our California birthing class, which was on Zoom because we were all still locked down,
right?
They were calling us like birthing persons. And I'm like, this sounds more Handmaid's Tale than anything else. Uterus haver, like front hole, all these new
That's
terms that they have. And you're going to sit there and straight-facedly tell me that this party somehow cares more about women. You're defending a boxer in women's sports in the Olympics. You're defending like there's teenage girls who have to literally just not play their sport because none of the adults in the room are fighting for them when they have to play against a biological male. Like there's so many examples of how I just don't buy it. I'm not saying the right is like some great. I've written about this in length. I don't really feel like either party gives a shit about women unless they need us on the ballot, really. But
that's how I feel about black people too.
I feel like
a pawn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They only every 4 years they're like black people. It's like Obama. Oh my god. In fact, can we pull up Obama
lecturing black men?
Yeah.
What a fucking jackass.
The brothers. Yeah. He was like, yeah, let me talk to the brothers. Which is like, nah, we don't want to hear shit from you, man. It's like unless you're apologizing for not doing anything.
Oh, so the African American community, they don't like.
Oh no, I think in the beginning, we all gave Obama like, oh, he's black, he's the first black president. I'm rooting for this guy.
Yeah.
And then after 8 years of not getting shit, we had to realize, oh, Obama wasn't a black leader. He was a president. He's a politician that tapped into the black voting base. But we got nothing specifically. No legislation came from that, Interesting. Yeah, it was wild. And so I think now people are slowly like waking up. And what's happening is Kamala has a problem with black men specifically. So Obama thought he can come out and be like, let me just do some of my Obama magic and speak to black men. But it's over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you have to give us something.
Why does Kamala have a problem with black men? I mean, I know, but I want to hear your answer.
Well, I think she has a problem with black people. First of all, what's crazy is that no one voted for her.
Yeah.
Like she ran in the primaries.
Got destroyed by Tulsi.
Yeah, Tulsi took her out, but that was wild.
That was wild.
That was, and then Biden picked her, and so the problem is that a lot of black people feel like, oh well, now we have to vote for her, but black men in particular is like, well, we've been so disillusioned. And I think we're just kind of like, yeah, you got to give us something. You have to give us some specific policy,
It was really interesting. I was on the plane back from Miami, and I was on the plane with a black guy who's married to a white woman, and he wants to vote for Trump, but he feels like he can't because she's so pro Kamala and has like Trump derangement syndrome to a certain extent that it would like affect their marriage if he did. And I'm like, you could lie.
Yeah, you
like,
could just lie. Like,
I know, but you don't want to lie to your
Sure,
spouse.
yeah,
You
fair.
really don't. Like, though, I
They said there's an ad for Kamala that was telling women
to lie to their
husbands.
Really?
Yeah.
The biggest threat to free speech is the institution, the marriage institution.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. That's right. Yeah, I mean, because that's like
if there's all these stories of like married people and this guy wants to vote for her, whatever, like they both want to vote for different people. I'm like, shit, what do you do?
yeah.
Most
Is
couples,
it constituted as like kind of cheating if you lie to your what if you voted for somebody that you know your spouse is not gonna approve, but you just like lied?
You both
lot
have to
of
vote
people
for
do this.
Jill Stein then.
Yeah. Or did you? We got the clip. Did you find it?
Is it the Obama backing Kamala Harris, or is it a clip you sent me?
it's him like
I think you can
lecturing
just
black
type it in.
men.
I think you might
Sorry,
have to.
my bad. I was looking through all the videos you sent me. Let me give me 2 seconds.
Oh, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild to me. It's like, and there was a pretty good backlash to it online. I saw
Yeah.
a lot of people were like, "What the fuck, bro? Like, screw you."
What's that?
Wait, what happened?
Well, he's
So foreign. I'm such a foreigner.
No,
yeah,
he's
but
like-
no,
happened?
you're not foreign.
If
Most-
I vote in
You're an
California,
American
does it
now.
matter? Like I'm still like I just became an American, so I'm still kind of like
Actually,
I'm
that's
listening to
very-
you guys.
That's very American of you to not know shit.
yeah, no, most Americans wouldn't know
We
that.
don't
At least
know
you
anything.
have
Yeah.
the accent. I have no excuse. At all.
This and soccer.
Yeah, this guy doesn't
I don't
know
know shit
anything.
about this, voting or soccer.
Oh,
I'm a
wow.
true American.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are a true American.
Yeah. No, it's they. I mean, even when it comes to policy, and Kamala tried to like. I think she came up with like
With-
weed.
And crypto.
Yeah, and crypto. I was like, what? A lot of black men into
Like,
crypto.
wow.
Come
And
on.
then for the Latin American men, it was like, here's a house and some jobs. You're like, wow, thanks. So this is what you think of us? Like,
Man.
this is so crazy.
Yeah. Is it? Oh, we got it.
That's right, Barack Obama.
Yep.
Barack, give us that sweet, sweet hope and change.
You're thinking about sitting out
Oh, yeah,
or
that's
even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you?
Uh-oh.
That's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
Okay, Dad.
Yep.
I
Okay.
did feel like it's
So, and they're clapping for that.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah.
Am I
look,
grounded?
yeah. Go to your room and think about what you did. Say, no, how about you go fuck
Black
yourself?
people are going to be
bro?
on timeout if they don't.
Yeah.
they don't vote for Kamala.
Yeah.
People are going to be on
Oh, man.
timeout.
Oh, you know what? I do wanted to get to this. Did you guys hear about this? The squirrel.
Yeah.
Peanut. Let's.
Oh,
So this is. This is
man.
what
I'm
I
gonna
sent
cry
you.
right now. This is the saddest thing ever.
Yo, this is
ever.
The first one I
ever.
sent you is a. Can we see the video? Yeah. Let's
No,
look at
I
this
can't
man.
even watch.
Listen, in memory.
It's
No.
so sad.
In memory of Peanut.
Hey, sorry, I cut the music so we don't get copyrighted.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I do love that it's come out that he's a like he does porn on OnlyFans.
He does?
Does
Yeah.
that explain the bulge? Jesus Christ, dude.
I know.
Oh my God! Wait, is the squirrel also a part of his?
No,
OnlyFans?
he puts a finger in his butt, I guess. We were covering this on Dumpster Fire today.
It's a
Oh my
cute
God.
squirrel.
It's so cute. Peanut. R.I.P.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his
R.I.P.
balls. I'm sorry.
Yeah. His
No.
butthole.
Well, the bulbs
He could have
too.
just hid the squirrel in his bulge, you know?
And,
Oh, Peanut.
This is the saddest thing
R.I.P.
ever.
This is also very American, though. You're gonna learn. You're
Yeah,
gonna learn about
uh-huh.
America.
What? You could have a squirrel, but they took it and they killed it.
Yeah.
They did, but why is it okay for Haitians to eat cats, but this guy can't have a squirrel? Okay, yeah, that's enough. It's too. We don't want to like.
It's so
be
sad.
depressed.
Now this is just.
but yeah. So here's a fun thing though. Can you pull up the picture that I sent you? Because it's a fun question.
I don't think Haitian really eat cats. You think Haitian really eat cats? I think it was just like a weird thing somebody
Memes.
said.
So
Do you know who
this
that
a
is?
good
Wait,
question.
I want to see. Do you know who that is on
Who's
the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's George Floyd.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
great.
All
Okay,
right,
yeah.
Of
all
course.
right.
How can you not?
Okay. Now this is a great question. We're all gonna answer it one by one. We're gonna start
Peanut.
with. Okay. You can only bring back one. You're going with Peanut.
Yeah.
All right. Who you bringing back, George Floyd or Peanut, the squirrel?
I don't know, man. Both will be so sad. Like, I don't know. I think Judge Floyd, because I never forget we called for his mama, and that broke my heart.
Yeah,
and
that
I
was
know
sad.
I know a lot of
Well,
squirrels,
Peanut has a
but
mom
I only
too.
know one, the Judge Floyd.
I would like to be a sponsor maybe if I could like help him get sober.
Well, he's
Maybe.
just gonna. If you bring him back, George Floyd is just gonna die again. Peanut actually has a shot.
Okay, answer.
Okay.
What's your answer?
With Peanut, I'm gonna waste it on George Floyd. How long until
He ODs on fentanyl.
Yeah, it's like he's not a. Which no, I think honestly, you gotta go with Peanut. What about you?
I don't even like this question. I feel like it's a little disrespectful. I mean, he's George Floyd.
It is.
It's
It
George
is
Floyd.
disrespectful.
No,
I'm
for
not even
sure.
from this country, and I'm gonna
I'll
tell
tell-
all you guys.
I mean,
Yeah.
No.
I would have
Well,
to
George
see,
Floyd. Okay, that's good.
I'm sorry. That's just.
No,
No,
you're
you're right.
You're right.
Listen, you're an American now, so you get to. There's something called
You
freedom
get
of
to have a
speech.
vote.
Here's the
You
thing, I
get to
can't
have-
decide because I'd have to see how George Floyd looks in the cowboy hat, and I can't decide until it's unfair that Peanut is wearing a cute little normal hat.
That is okay.
You're right. It is disrespectful.
This looks like a 2024
I went right for the. I went
remake
right
of Sophie's
for the
Choice.
joke. Yeah.
No. Well, America is about disrespect. I mean, come on. Let's be real. What are we talking about? Also, by the way, let me say this about George Floyd. To be clear, I always found it ridiculous how Republicans made the discussion his record and not the cops, what the cop did. It's like, who gives a fuck that this guy was a criminal? I don't give a fuck he was on high. I don't care. It wasn't proper protocol.
Here's the thing. They're both victims of government overreach.
Hey.
That is 100% true. Yeah, I think that's why we need to defund the police. 1,000%.
For Peanut, yeah.
No, for Peanut. All right, I do want to get to the main story I wanted to cover with you guys because Joseph Biden is almost done.
He's still our president.
He's still.
I
think
keep
technically
forgetting
he's still
this.
our president. Yeah, he is. And I want to do like a tribute. I want to go through some of my favorite moments.
all his fall videos. You're gonna do a fall compilation right now. You know, sometimes late at night I think about it. Usually, if I have
When you're masturbating.
no, if I have bad sex and I have to think, I like, you know, the sex is bad when you start thinking about Biden.
About
Yeah,
Biden
I've
fall.
never had that problem.
You know, and
Well, what
yeah.
that teaches me is that Biden's fall off the bike. It's like, you know what? If I'm not doing great in the bedroom, I'm like, you know what? I need to get back up like Biden got back up. It is actually
Biden never got
inspiring.
back up. What are you talking about? He literally
He got
left
picked up.
the race. He got
can you
picked
go
up.
to the first link, the Trevor Noah, because so this is Trevor doing some hot comedy.
Shit. Like people just treated Joe Biden like absolute trash, and for what? Nothing. Not the man just got old. That's literally all he's guilty of. He got old. And people, they're like, oh my God, you see Joe Biden these days? He's so old. You're like, yeah. That's what happens. You get older
This
as a
fucking
person.
disingenuous
How
hack.
old he is. I'm like, when you voted for him, it's not like he was 20.
Yo, okay, that's enough. Listen,
People make it seem
we Trevor he's always coming with the warmest takes.
The warmest takes.
Warmer than my grandma's vagina. I mean, this
Warmer
guy.
than a cow patty in June.
Like, oh my God, this guy is amazing because he's talking about like no one is mad that he's old, right? We're mad that the media lied about his age.
But
They
by
did.
the way, I
they lied
have
about his
family members who are the same age as Joe Biden, and they are not in clear mental decline like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're sharp as tacks. I know my friend who's a Holocaust survivor in his 90s has more of his faculties together than Joe Biden does on in an average interview. So it's not just, it's such a lie to act like, oh, it's just that he got old. Like, yeah, there's plenty of ways old looks different.
I think he's just old and clumsy. That's the problem. He keeps falling off shit.
Yeah.
And like you can't fall off a bike and still have the respect of Putin and all the leaders. You know what I mean? Like they need to kind of like
It's a wrap. Yeah.
fear you or something. You can't keep falling off shit. And then do these meetings and now we have World War. Yeah.
He's become like a barometer for mental decline, like on a scale of 1 to Joe Biden. He's like a thing on a chart somewhere.
On a scale.
That's how bad it is.
It's terrible. But these media, the people in the media lied, right? So it's not being mean to old people.
Oh, because they never lie. The media is so truthful.
Listen, if one thing I know from watching CNN is that they tell the truth like it is. Let's hold on. Can we go to the clip of Morning Joe? I want to watch Morning Joe.
You know what? I don't really care. Start your tape right now because I'm about to tell you the truth.
Look at his hair.
You if you can't handle the truth.
F you.
F you.
This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
Oh
my God! All right, yeah, this guy. So, but that's what people are mad at.
This is an old video.
They're not just mad at that though. They're mad at the fact that like the whole institution lied about him. Yeah. Kamala lied about him.
Absolutely.
This is like, it should be a scandal. This is you suddenly are like, you know, when she was being interviewed and she was being pushed about this and she's like, Joe Biden isn't running. Joe Biden isn't the one who's running. It's like, yeah, Kamala. And why the fuck is that?
For sure.
Because he was in such bad mental decline, you couldn't hide it anymore. And you were hoping you could just like weekend at Bernie's him across the finish line one more time. And you couldn't. And then they had to install you, but that they would be like, well, behind closed door, Joe Biden's doing great. Like he's doing backflips. You're like, well, then ridiculous. Show us those videos instead of the ones of him falling off the bike.
He's doing backflips, but like unintentionally downstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. What were you saying?
I feel like from just observing, the American people are kind of. You know how like when you're a kid and you could tell your parents are lying to you because they think it's for your own good.
Yeah, exactly.
But you kind of grow up and you're like, you guys don't keep having to do this. Like I've grown up now. I'm like I get it. Y'all not perfect.
You're like we know Dad was having an affair with the neighbor.
We know Dad was having an affair with the neighbor. How about you just tell me to my face? Like I'm not 6 years old.
Right. Yeah.
And we're tired now in American people to be treated like a 6-year-old
exactly
child, like and if anything, you're being bad parents not only by consistently lying to us for our own good, by doing all this shit to us, you know, poisoning the food, doing all this shit.
Yeah, you're right. I think if you believe
you're bad parents. You're taking the taxes. We got no money left.
Yeah, they are. If you still believe in democracy, you probably still believe in Santa Claus.
You allow Apple to change the charger every 2 years.
That's
what the fuck is that about?
Yeah, why is that?
Pick a charger and stick to it. Make it a law.
It's corruption.
Don't cross Apple. You'll be out of this
Sorry.
country.
Dude, you know, I went to the Apple store, and I kid you not, this is a true story. I went to the Apple store, and I guess she didn't notice that I'm looking, but she opened a drawer from, you know those like wooden, they have a wooden table? Mm-hmm. That wooden table, I don't know if all of them do that, but opened up to a drawer full of cash. At an Apple store, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you guys are Apple. I didn't know you guys work with like cash. It's like with Flintstones for them, right? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. And she's like, wait till you see our printer. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, Apple has literally cash under the table.
Was she making a joke like, oh, we print money or something?
She tried to make a joke, and I'm like, you guys are. My brain just like blew up.
Yeah, no, they're evil for sure.
Apple has cash in their table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and see, but they have too much money, and that's why.
That's why they have cash.
I don't want people to not go and like try to rob Apple instead of taking the phones and trying to break them. I'm sorry, Apple. I like that. I don't really like anything they do, but it's better than Android.
Whoa, easy. See, and I will not tolerate Android hate.
Really?
Yeah. I have an Android.
I get a green text. My pussy gets dry.
I have an Android. Oh yeah, what?
They're being sued for that too.
Nothing dry my pussy like a green text.
Apple's being sued for that.
Really?
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah, I
well,
think
good.
so.
All those men that lost their pussy.
Good.
It's
no,
like
you know what?
It's like they're being sued because of this, because they've basically made it so that.
Well, it's a way to segregate.
Yeah, it's a
Again,
DOJ shoot.
Yeah.
Against Apple.
Green bubble shaming.
Yeah.
We need to stop this shaming.
I don't know if it's
That's so
shaming.
funny.
It's just like, when you're just used to, used to seeing things blue.
Some guy got shamed by a chick, and he was like, you know what? I'm
Enough
in
is
the
enough.
DOJ, and
Well,
I'm gonna
good
fucking
for
take
this
this shit.
So would you really? So you
So
had a
he-
guy
so
text
hold
you.
on.
You've had a guy text
So
you.
he lost the pussy,
Right.
Yeah.
and now he's suing Apple.
Yeah. Good.
That's gangster, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if that's actually what happened, but that's what I'm
But wait,
imagining.
so
happened.
have you ever had somebody that you were gonna fuck text you and you're like green, and then you're like, never mind? Did that really happen?
I don't know if that really happened. It's just like it raises a lot of questions
Anti-competitive.
in my
that's
brain.
what it
It's like, is he? What's happening? Is he not pay his phone bill? Like, because in Apple, like if your text doesn't go through, then it goes green. You don't have good like something is not quite right.
Listen, I think personally, I know. Hold on.
green
I
text
feel
is a red
like
flag,
no.
is what it
Listen,
is.
no. A green. Listen, a green text is a red. That's hilarious. I
What?
think we should judge people not off of the color of their text, but of the content of their characters.
the content of their message.
Exactly. That's what you know. What I
True
mean,
that.
I'm
I
running
know
on that.
the thing is, and I feel awful about it. I'm so sorry. Like I wish I could,
It is what it is.
Well, you're an
treat
American now. So you
people
get to-
equally.
My husband converted, but then he made me vote for Trump. No, I'm just kidding. It was a swap.
Is your husband voting for Trump or Kamala?
I can't really speak for him publicly.
Oh, you don't know? Okay.
No, I mean I know, but I can't really speak. He's not for
Ooh.
Kamala.
Ooh, spicy.
Well, no.
Jill Stein?
Maybe.
What if she just out of nowhere became president? She's like, I was not ready. Are you kidding
That
me?
would be amazing.
Guys,
Enough people vote
guys,
for Jill.
what did you do?
Yeah. Well, what her thing is like, what? She's just, it's a protest vote. Anybody I've heard say that they're going to vote for Jill, it's because they're so mad at the two choices.
Wait, Jill? Who the
Jill
fuck is
Stein.
Jill?
You don't even know who Jill Stein is. That's
Oh.
so
Yeah,
great.
no,
Yeah,
that's great.
that makes sense. She's let's pull up Jill Stein. She's running Green Party. Green Bubbles. You know what? I'm voting for Jill
Green
Stein,
Party,
actually.
the
Now I
Android
think about
Party.
that. Green Bubbles, Green Party. I'm all green, baby.
Yeah.
I just love all the guys that are like, Trump's been shot at twice, and he's still like going to work. He's more gangster than Kamala is.
Yeah. Well, Kamala wouldn't even go on Rogan. She bailed. You see that? But she went on SNL. Yeah.
And they stole the freaking bit that Trump did on Fallon in 2015.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
They stole the beat.
That was a 2015 bit Trump did when he went on Fallon, where he was talking to himself in the mirror, and
Yeah.
they basically redid it.
Well,
or they
you
did
know.
it, or they took it.
Yeah. I mean, they can do whatever they want. That's SNL.
Yeah, they can
You
do
know what I
whatever
mean?
they want, like
Yeah.
violate laws about having candidates on.
We
Yeah.
can talk about
that
everybody
wrong?
except SNL.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We
Listen,
can
there's
talk
good
about-
people.
we
There's
can-
good people on both sides.
Hold on.
There's good people on both
Yeah. No.
sides.
Trump. I think I wanted Trump to go on. Right. I know that they hate Trump, but it's like that would be great television. You know, I think Trump should have went on SNL and Kamala should have went on Rogan. Like,
yeah.
because don't you?
Because
isn't-
that would have been a challenge for both.
Exactly, right? Like, why are these people
Trump's
talking
been
to
on
the
SNL
same-
though.
Well, no, not he has, but not recently.
No, but
Yeah.
I mean, he's been on.
I don't understand going on these podcasts talking to the people that are already voting for you, right? Like, I guess it makes sense Trump going on Rogan, but Rogan's audience was already going to vote for Trump.
I don't think that's true at all. His
A lot of-
audience is so big. I think that there probably are a lot of I think it was very smart for JD and Trump to just hit the podcast circuit, because that is where most of the independents are.
But every podcast they hit remained in the bro space, meaning so there's a lot of independents, but had they not been on there, I bet that a lot of those independents were still leaning towards Trump anyway. Like, I would love to see Trump and Kamala go in spaces where, like, Kamala should have went on Theo Von. I'm sorry, like, that would be great.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, because if you're trying to just Theo Von talking to Kamala about fucking cocaine and shit, that'd have been amazing.
But her not going on Rogan says more.
Yeah,
Than it, because
does.
she didn't even try.
She didn't.
You know what I mean? So people who already kind of thought negatively about her were like, oh, well, fuck her because she didn't even.
It looks bad. It does
Yeah.
look bad. And Trump and JD look like, like regular people who can sit down and talk.
But do you think that like Trump should have gone on Call Her Daddy?
Yeah.
But would they even entertain him?
No, they wouldn't.
But here's the problem.
But wouldn't that be great?
But that's the problem. You need to have the candidate go to the opposite
Yes.
platform. Each candidate, I think, like once you go, it's kind of talking to a preacher, kind of like you said. Like
yeah, but there's so much like guilt by. So how do you justify platforming literally Hitler if you've backed yourself into that corner and you believe that? How do you justify it if you're Call Her Daddy? You can't. And this is the thing that I've run into even with my podcast is that people have. It's usually left-wing people who back out kind of last minute or something. There's a conflict that comes up or whatever because they don't want to be associated with a podcast that, God forbid, has had Glenn Beck on it or has had somebody on the right wing on it.
That's silly.
It's silly, but it is that only works in one direction. Do you know what I mean? Like the right will have people on from the left. They'll entertain anybody. There's no guilt by association. You're not getting canceled. That you can't work in the left wing spaces in that way.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Call Her Daddy would probably lose audience members and respect and whatever for platforming Donald Trump.
It's such a stupid world.
So you're saying like the left would like shame like their own people for going on platforms that aren't ideally platforms that they should be going on.
Yeah, because there's this idea that you're giving if you're platforming someone, you're giving them an audience or you're giving, we saw this all with Jimmy Fallon actually in 2015. Remember when he like tussled Russ
hair.
And he got basically, I don't know if he's ever been the same. Like, I don't know if he's ever recovered.
He started taking it
that.
out on his staff.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ever recovered, but it was like such an unhinged reaction to it.
I think that's a ridiculous reaction. But I can see both sides because they call him Hitler, but on the other side, if you watch the rally that Trump did at Madison Square Garden.
I feel like Hitler word is used too loosely. I'm so sorry.
It is. No, it is.
Loosely. Everybody's calling each other
They called
Hitler.
you're right. They called the rally that Trump did a Nazi rally.
Oh, at Madison Square Garden. Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. But if you listen to some of the speeches there, like one guy literally called Kamala the devil. He wasn't like Kamala is kind of like the devil. He was like, she's the Antichrist. I'm like, all right. How is that any? It's like Hitler, Antichrist. These are my options.
Yeah, when you start getting into like the poisoning the blood of America language, you're like, all right, you now sound a little Hitlery.
Yeah, it's a little Nazi.
Yeah, there's a little bit like
it's crazy.
There was a Lincoln Project video that they took Hitler's speech, or they took Trump's speeches and translated them into German, and it does sound,
But I feel like anything
a
you
little
say in
bit
German.
Hitler.
That's what I said. Every time I hear German, I feel like I should hide somewhere in the attic, or like I just.
Yeah, you could take like a Maya Angelou.
You could say the most
quote.
adorable things to me in German. I was like, oh, shit.
You could. Yeah, you're right. Everything in German.
Isn't it funny that the kids on TikTok don't think Helen Keller is real? Like
that's
this
very
is one
funny.
of my favorite.
They don't think she's real?
Yeah.
No,
like
they
person?
think she's like they don't think that she was actually blind and deaf.
and dumb.
Yeah, there's a whole controversy around this. It's the kids all think
Helen Keller, why is the conspiracy undermining her story? What?
Is she still alive?
Is she?
I don't know.
Helen Keller?
Yeah.
She can't be alive.
Oh man, her rebuttal to that would have been amazing.
87 years old. She's.
Oh wow. Oh no.
No. She died a long time
I'm like,
ago.
she was born in the 1800s, wasn't she? Like, okay, yeah.
There you go.
I was like, unless she's like that Brian Johnson dude, and she's just like been biologically hacking herself quietly, and now that's why all the kids think she's like a TikTok.
TikTok is a scary space because you remember when Osama bin Laden made a comeback on TikTok?
Oh,
People
yeah.
were
We
like,
cover all this stuff on Dumpster Fire all the time.
Great.
We have a whole segment on Dumpster Fire called Gen Z Discovers because they're always discovering like some new shit that's not new.
Yeah.
Like recently, the one was what was it? Whippets, but they call it chroming.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, so you guys just fucking discovered Whippets. And you're like, oh, we're chroming, man. We take the, it's just inhaling the, whipped cream.
They're just taking
I remember when it was like Bin Laden was trending.
Yeah.
It was like, I just read it. and I was talking to my sister in Hebrew, and I was like, "Can you believe it? Kilo Bin Laden trending with TikTok, Bin Laden." Dude, every single person on the plane stopped everything what they were doing. Like everybody was just looking at me like, "Who? What the fuck?" They thought I was gonna explode the plane.
Yeah, I would too. I would have reported
all the
you.
other people were like, you know, they don't know, they can't tell Hebrew or any other. It's like it's just foreign.
No, it just sounds
Americans
like
it's just foreign is foreign.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
just
get
like,
that
God,
shit
I hope
out
she's
of here.
Italian.
Yeah,
they're like
with all my and stuff. I was like, no,
they're like, we're getting bombed on this plane.
Do you ever go back and do like comedy in Israel?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They like comedy over there. It's not banned. Netanyahu. Can you make fun of Netanyahu?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you could. It's most people make fun of Netanyahu.
Yeah, isn't he like not liked?
He's
by...
not a loved. So he's not that popular.
Yeah.
You know, I once flew like 16 hours to vote against him.
Wow.
And then flew back because I had a show at the Improv.
Wow. Wait, really?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great. How was the show?
I think I bombed.
Did you bomb more than Netanyahu?
Did Netanyahu
harder
win?
Than Netanyahu, no. Random Tuesday.
Yeah. Have you ever performed in Gaza? Do you think they have comedy over there?
I don't know. No, I
have you been there?
I don't think I'm allowed to go.
Yeah.
I would have. I have. I don't know. I feel like if I talk about Gaza or Israel, I'm just gonna throw up.
And she's in the weeds.
I don't. You know, you were born in somewhere. You were dealt the cards you were dealt with, and the best
Palestine
I can do.
Comedy Club.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's great.
No way.
I searched comedy in Gaza, and this was what came up as the first place.
Wow.
The
We gotta
Palestine Comedy Club.
Man, I'm gonna have my management hit them.
I'll reach out to them. Get your book.
Yeah, reach out, contact. Oh my God, so
that's great.
That's
Let's do
great.
a pod there, man. So
Let's
fun.
go do a live podcast there.
That's great.
That's amazing. Well, that shows you the power of comedy. It can thrive anywhere. That's a beautiful message.
Yeah, dude, we're all just human. Everybody likes to laugh. I never understand it when people are like, do they have this there or do they have that there? We're all human beings, just like to laugh. Like it doesn't really matter where you, and the shittier your life is, the more you need comedy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like when you remember we had COVID, like comedy clubs were like blooming, even if they were kind of illegal in a way, because back then you couldn't like do it in a closed. Yeah, I remember one time I did a comedy show in gym. So it was like double illegal. I was like, I'm definitely getting deported if they find out. Like. And people still came because the harder your struggle is, the more you need to laugh.
When things started opening back up, that was my favorite time to do comedy. Everyone was so happy to be out and laughing again.
Oh, yeah.
It was so much fun, dude.
We need another pandemic.
We do. Yeah. It's also the most money
I'm
I've ever
not
made
sure about that.
Well,
where,
but I do
where
miss
were
that.
you when you?
San Diego.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's like
they didn't lock down too hard down there.
Not too hard, but where I was at was the La Jolla Comedy Store.
Okay,
So they were out in the back alley for like a little while.
Yeah.
And then they came in, spaced apart, and then when everything was finally together, it was great.
Yeah. Did they have to put up the like plexiglass like they did at the Cellar?
I did at American Comedy
God, that was the
Company.
dumbest
the
shit.
plexiglass.
That'll protect
That'll
us.
protect us.
And it wasn't even, I didn't even care. It was just the same hacky joke every time about being a hooker in Amsterdam. You know what I mean? I got so tired of hearing that. I was like, I want this to be over.
Yeah.
This sucks.
I want this to be over.
Yeah.
No, it is. That's great. Well, I have a quick ad read, and then we can wrap things up. I appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you for having us.
No, yeah, this is great. Please, hopefully you guys come back.
Hopefully we're welcome back, even after our heretical ideas.
No, come on. Listen, we got it. This is America. You can do whatever you want.
I'm going to still try to look over this Jill girl.
Jill Stein?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got one more day.
You do.
Yeah. With Jill.
Okay. We got a new sponsor, Raytheon. Thank you for supporting us. If you listen to the pod, you're probably a fan of war. Well, you can't have war without weapons. That's where Raytheon comes in. Raytheon is the most trusted weapons manufacturer around, with explosive prices that will literally blow your socks off.
Jesus Christ, what did I agree to?
Whether they're a sponsor. Listen, man, we need money.
Is this a real sponsor?
We need money, right
How
now.
do I fucking get the Raytheon money?
Well, I'll put in a word.
Bro.
It's a good, listen, who doesn't love a good war? Whether you're a war criminal looking to start.
I gotta go before I get canceled, bro. I'm Israeli.
This is the
Don't forget the promo code.
This is the verbatim part of the ad read too. You have to read exactly.
I have to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they won't give you ad money, so make sure you get the promo code and everything in there, please.
No. Yeah, I have to. I keep going. No, you're right. Whether I have to read it word for word, or else I'm not getting paid. Whether you're a criminal looking to start an illegal holy war, or just another U.S. president trying to take out a terrorist leader who you propped up, Raytheon is the weapons manufacturer you can trust. Act now, and you can get a signed bomb by P. Diddy. That's great. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Go to Raytheon.org. Use promo code Tre Stewart /bombs away.
Is this real?
Perfect. Thank you.
Sure, why not?
Bro, are you fucking kidding me? I'm gonna beat you up now.
All right.
Okay, what's the next sponsor? Fucking.
Hey, listen, we got to pay the bills somehow. Well, that's it. Thank you so much. Please tell the people where they can find you guys.
Shit, you can't find me anywhere. Matter of fact, I wasn't even here.
Or MASH. That's it. Thank you.
Jesus, God, I get myself
a permanent structure. And Bridget, very funny podcast.
Yeah, you can find all my stuff. Just actually go to my YouTube channel. It's Bridget Phetasy, or I think it's /Phetasy, but you can search Bridget Phetasy and find it. And then all my podcasts are there.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This was really
fun.
Thank you, guys.